How you keeping, Connor?
Very well, Stephen, and yourself?
Yeah, doing great, thanks. So we're here today to talk about the benefits of remote working. And I'd seen a stat there recently from Gallup, which showed that US workers have been working from home twice as much during the pandemic.
Yes, Stephen, I think we're witnessing a cultural shift towards remote working. I think the days of being in the office 5 days per week are gone.
Really?
Yes, I think we're seeing organizations moving towards that flexible way of working. We're seeing some organizations letting their teams work from home, some days in the office, some days from home, or a bit of both. And if I could give an example, Stephen, a good friend of mine has worked in investment banking for years, and anyone familiar with that organization will know that presence equals influence. And if you're not at your trading desk or at your desk, that in some way that you're not relevant. And my friend would have been commuting to work in London City, probably an hour in and an hour back every day, plus doing 14-hour days, so 16-hour days in total, which is a huge amount of hours. And,
Sure.
And since the pandemic, he's actually been working from home. And what he's found, because he was previously wedded to his desk, and the idea of working remotely was just anathema to him, is that he's much more productive and he's much more happier and he's got a better quality of life. And he's saving himself 2 hours every single day. So it's working really well for him. And if it's working really well for him, I would suggest that there's many other organizations that are actually benefiting from this at the moment, as well as, of course, the employees.
That's brilliant. So you don't see it going back to the way it was?
No, I don't, Stephen. And I guess here at CXC Europe, we've been extolling the benefits of remote working for years. And in fact, our organization, when we were founded 5 years ago here in Europe, was founded on the principles of remote first. So all our team, although they've got offices and hubs to go to, they all work from home, and that's their first preference, and that's how we operate.
Right. But CXC is a global company, so do you not have offices around the world?
Yes, we do, Stephen, and we've got actually offices in over 30 countries around the world. Some are the sort of large offices that you would come to expect for a global corporation, and others are, I guess, smaller regional hubs where people can drop in and drop out of.
Right. And they prefer that?
They do. What we've found through employee surveys is that our teams prefer working from home. And I guess they get a better work-life balance. They get to save money. And of course, they get to save time, which is just as important as saving money in some ways.
And do they not feel alienated at times?
We have found the opposite, Stephen. What we've found is by utilising the right management policies and procedures, that our teams can actually be much more engaged, much more productive, and their performance is greater when working at home.
So it sounds like that works for the employees, but what about the business leaders?
I think, Stephen, this is where it gets even more interesting. So I read an article in Forbes recently that suggested there are 5 benefits to remote working.
What are they?
The first one, Stephen, is that employees are much more productive. Their performance is higher. They feel much more engaged, which is hugely important, of course. They have flexibility in their own working lives, and also that translates into their careers. And of course, the 2 words on everyone's lips, there's cost savings here for organizations as well. And what the Forbes article suggested is that companies that implemented or have implemented a remote working policy are 21% more profitable than those that haven't.
So that works within one country, but I'm guessing if you're looking at global contingent staff, there's probably even more benefits.
Absolutely, Stephen. So what we've found is that organizations achieve lower capital costs, lower operational costs, and of course they gain access to a wider global talent pool, which can allow them to have 24-hour productivity. And what we've been able to achieve for some of our clients utilizing this way of working, Stephen, is cost savings of up to 50%.
That's incredible. So are we saying that the future of work is remote working?
Yes, we believe it's the past, the present, and the future, certainly for our organization. But clearly, since the pandemic has arrived, we've seen this huge acceleration for organizations implementing and adopting remote working policies. And if we look at the Global Research Analytics paper, between 2005 and 2017, in the USA, remote working increased by 159%, right? Which is obviously huge, but that's in the absence of a pandemic. So just think about what that figure is currently.
Wow. So if people wanted to find out more, Connor, how should they get in touch?
Please email me at connor.heaney@cxeglobal.com and I'd be delighted to discuss more.
Okay, thanks for your time today, Connor.
Thank you, Stephen.